Hmm. The skilled helper, a problem management and opportunity development approach to helping, by a man called Gerald Egan. This book, hmm, what can I say about it? When I got started as a psychotherapist a long time ago, that was a book, that was one of the textbooks that I read at university. And the book had so much meaning, it made so much sense. Of course, all those were theory until I started practicing, until life started throwing all sorts of things at me, myself personally. I'm not talking about clients, I'm talking about even personally. See, skilled helper. For you to get to a point whereby you feel that yes, you are an authority. And over all these years, I've gotten to that point where I feel, and of course, with you know, being invited to speak at different events or on different stages, or as author of almost 18 books now. I'm at that place where I feel that I know one or two or three things about mental health, and to be able to keep helping people to get to a place where they feel they are in control, they are in charge, and their anxiety, their depression is not controlling them anymore. But you know what? When I started reading this book, and I used this book a lot when I first started, and I thought, I looked at it and I thought, oh my goodness, this book didn't talk about as a helper when you are faced with adversity, when you are faced with life issues. How do you handle, how do you cope with it? And this book didn't talk about what if it doesn't work. Because no matter what happens, to be able to get to a place where you feel comfortable, the first thing you need to do is to be able to talk about it, to say, I'm feeling like this. This is what is going on within me. How do I cope? How do I handle it? That is what counseling is all about. But it's much more than that. That was what this book told me. That was what this book taught me. But there are much more that I had to learn as I go. As I go. I've worked with different people for so many years now, and if I can count them, thousands and thousands of people. But to become that person that I am today, I had to go through certain things in my life myself. And I can say to you, it's not easy. And I remember last year when life threw things at me, and I felt lost. I felt I was in the bottom of the bottom. I felt I grabbed this book couldn't help me. And I had to go and talk to somebody myself. I had to go and sit with somebody. And before I got to the point that I had to go and talk to somebody, I felt like I should be okay. I should be better than I am. I felt like that, and I felt like a failure. But I got to the point that I said to myself, Vicky, you've helped people because they came to you, they talked to you, they were able to open up. You've got to do that now, because if you keep being where you are, you know what tends to happen. I had that conversation with myself. I had that, moment of clarity that I kept hanging on to this. I kept hoping that it's going to get better. Some of my clients were like that. until they now came to see me and they were able to work with me to get to a place where they felt that, yep, they're okay now. So Vicky, you've got to do that. I had that conversation with me. I've heard some people say, oh, counseling doesn't work. This is to address that. This is to address their 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 questions. This is to address their thoughts about counseling not working for them. Counseling may not work. I can tell you this as someone who has been in the field for over 20 years and someone who had already gone and I spoke to someone and I spoke to a mental health specialist. I spoke to a psychotherapist, a clinical licensed psychotherapist about what I was going through, which was grief that led to other things. So I had to go and talk to somebody. So, what if it doesn't work? I've shared my own story. There's no way, there is no way that one or two times in your life, certain times in your life, that life will not throw certain things at you that can be difficult to handle, that can be difficult for you to process on your own, by going to talk to somebody who is skilled in mental health, in relationship counseling, in stress management, in other areas that you may be struggling at, then you can have some clarity. You can learn some coping strategies and you can start taking steps to move to where you need to be. Take it from me. It has worked for me. Try and see. But what if it doesn't work? Let me tell you one thing. When you are able to talk to somebody, even by talking, you can start having a little bit of insight yourself. You're opening up. You're saying, you're talking about what you're going through. And when you're talking about it, then you can start having some, ha moment or some moment whereby you can start seeing some light that, okay, maybe if I do, even without that person talking, but talking about it. So yes, maybe it may not work as much as you wanted it to, because some do come into counseling hoping that there's a magic wand that will just, everything stressing them, everything causing anxiety and depression, will just use, a magic wand and everything will just disappear. It doesn't work that way. So what if counseling doesn't work? Why don't you give it a try and just see, even if it's only 20% that works for you, if it's only 30% of you feeling a little bit, oh, okay, I feel a bit better today, or I have a little bit of clarity on as per what to do, that's still a win. So, you have any question about this, or you're thinking about working on your mental health or your personal growth, because for you to be able to help other people, for you to be able to run your business and run it well and start making profit, your personal growth comes first. Your mental health, your mindset, all this comes first, because when all this is in the right places, you are able to do well in whatever you do. Now, you want to talk to me about this, or you want me to, provide you with some coaching in terms of your personal growth, why don't you make a comment below right now and let's get started. Till next time, my name is Dr. Vicky Umifolaji. I am your personal growth coach. You take care. Bye-bye.